Tell you, WNBA insider Annie Kosovo took to her Instagram and her ex moments ago to drop this right here. She stated WBPA President Nneka Ogwumike and WBPA staff were in Nashville last night where they held a players-only meeting with AU players, including executive committee members Brianna.
It's February and the WNBA season is supposed to tip off in 90 days. But right now, there's no season, no scheduled games, no training camps, nothing, because the league and the players' union have been locked in CBA negotiations since late October and still haven't reached an agreement. And now WNBA insider Arielle Chambers has dropped a bombshell on social media that completely changes the outlook on where these negotiations stand.
Guarantee that the ladies will sign the new proposal. Now, granted, they can get offered a proposal. We've seen them be offered one, I believe, in December. They did not sign that proposal. So there could very much be a chance that they not sign this one when it becomes available, when the owners are done making it. It says, what do you mean still waiting on a response? The league gave them a response. Somebody said there is no new proposal. I think they're trying to align Unrivaled and AU to take the place of WNBA when the strike.
Here's what's actually happening behind closed doors as WNBPA President Nneka Ogwumike and her staff flew to Nashville Monday night for a players-only meeting with Athletes Unlimited participants, including executive committee members Brianna Stewart and Alyssa Thomas. And according to Arielle Chambers, the union is still waiting on a response from the WNBA to its December proposal. December. 2 months ago, meaning the league went radio silent for 8 weeks while the clock ticks down toward what should be opening day. But then Chambers posted an update 10 minutes later that shifts the entire dynamic, saying the league will begin working on a proposal. Not that it has prepared one or is ready to present one. We'll begin working on one. And that language matters because it suggests the owners have not been negotiating in good faith and have instead been stalling.
I think they believe if all WNBA talent will play in those leagues during a strike period, the league will acquire. I don't know. That is weird that they're meeting with all these other leagues, man. Somebody said the WNBA is basically the MLS with their own Messi, and that's exactly the type of salary that's on the table. It's a very interesting situation. Somebody said it's February. If the league didn't respond by now, they're not going to respond.
Now here's where it gets complicated, because even if the owners present a new proposal, there is zero guarantee the players will sign it since they already rejected an offer back in December, which is why this holding pattern continues. And the players currently have leverage after the WNBA's most successful season in history, fueled by Caitlin Clark's rookie year, that delivered unprecedented ratings, sold out arenas, and mainstream media attention the league had never experienced before. So they understand their value has skyrocketed and are not willing to accept pre-Clark era compensation. While fans reacting to Arielle Chambers' post are confused, frustrated, and beginning to panic, with some claiming the league already responded. But that is not how CBA negotiations work, because the union submits a proposal, the league answers with a counter-proposal, and negotiations proceed from there. And 2 months of radio silence is not a response, but a strategy to run out the clock and pressure the players into accepting whatever deal the owners finally present at the last minute.
I don't know. I can't sit up here and say that the league is not going to respond, because they did all just have a face-to-face meeting just the other day. And I don't know. I will hope a deal get done so Caitlin Clark and many other WNBA stars could have a season, because as of right now, it's looking like they're not finna have a season. Oh man, it's just a tough pill to swallow, because just like I stated before, the people who is affected by this are.
Another commenter pointed out what many fans are thinking, that the effort may be to align Athletes Unlimited and other leagues to fill the void if a WNBA strike happens, which is not paranoia, but reading the situation, as Nneka Ogwumike and her executive committee met in Nashville with Athletes Unlimited players for a reason, building contingency plans in case the WNBA season does not take place. Because if owners believe the players will cave due to needing paychecks, they may be mistaken since these athletes now have options. And the athlete's unlimited connection is strategic, as it is a professional league offering competitive salaries during the WNBA's usual season window, meaning players could secure contracts there during a lockout to maintain income while applying maximum pressure on owners. Mirroring the same strategy NBA players have used during lockout negotiations by creating alternative revenue streams, so they are not bargaining from a position of desperation.
You NBA fans, a lot of new fans, people like myself and many of you guys that watch the channel when you choose to watch it. We are all new fans, and it sucks that they can't get a deal done. And we don't even know if it's going to be a WNBA season at all. Just an ugly, ugly situation for all parties that is involved. And I just hope and pray that they can somehow, some way.
What makes this situation particularly brutal is that the people being hurt most by the standoff are the fans, especially the new ones who discovered the WNBA through Caitlin Clark's rookie season, watched 13 games before it ended, became invested in the storylines, planned their summer around watching more, and are now facing the real possibility that there may not be a 2025 season at all. And the timing could not be worse because the league had just experienced a breakthrough moment as Angel. Reese and Caitlin Clark drew college basketball fans into the professional game. Mainstream sports media finally covered women's basketball with the same intensity as men's sports. Attendance records were shattered, television ratings doubled and tripled, corporate sponsors lined up. And just as the league should be capitalizing on that momentum, everything now risks unraveling over a dispute between owners and players about how to divide the
deal done so we can have WNBA for the 2026 season. We know Caitlin Clark only played 13 games, and I'm interested to see her come back on the basketball court very, very soon. Alexa Philippou put something out. She said Nneka Ogwumike staff went to Nashville tonight to check in on athletes unlimited. Players along, fellow executive committee members Alicia Carr, Breonna Turner, same thing she said. Let's see here, is there anything else that came out?
One bright spot amid the chaos is that multiple reports confirm that for the first time in WNBA history, players are expected to earn million-dollar salaries in 2026, which signals meaningful progress and shows owners recognize the need to significantly raise compensation to retain top talent. But that timeline matters because it is 2026, not this year and not next year. Meaning if a lockout occurs, it could be the year after that, assuming a deal is reached and a season is played. While under the current CBA, the maximum salary sits around $240,000, a stark contrast to the NBA minimum salary of over $1 million, underscoring why players are willing to risk a season to secure a stronger agreement, since they argue they're not being greedy, but seeking a fair share of the revenue they help generate. With Caitlin Clark alone likely producing more media value for the league last season than its entire marketing budget over the previous 5 years combined.
Nope. What's this right here? It said another vet hitting unrestricted free agency. I don't mean to be flamboyant. Y'all just don't quite have the words right now. I don't know what they mean by this. CBA negotiations remain ongoing, but one thing seems certain: for the first time in the league history, WNBA player will make $1 million salary in 2026.
Alexa from ESPN confirmed the same information Arielle Chambers reported, that Nneka Ogwumike and her staff were in Nashville meeting with athletes, unlimited players alongside executive committee members Alyssa Thomas and Breonna Stewart. And when multiple credible reporters independently verify the same story, it is no longer speculation, but confirmation that the meeting happened for a strategic reason, with the union sending a clear message to owners that they have alternatives and that the WNBA is not the only professional league that can employ them. Meaning if negotiations over the CBA turn into a hardball standoff, the players can sit out a season and still earn income elsewhere, fundamentally shifting the power dynamic, since in previous negotiations options were limited and overseas leagues required leaving the country for months. Whereas now domestic alternatives allow players to maintain their presence in the United States while earning competitive salaries. Here is what happens next, and why the next 2 weeks are critical, as the WNBA season is scheduled to start in early May with training camps typically opening in late April. meaning rosters must be finalized by mid-April at the latest. And with it now mid-February, if a deal is not reached by early March, there is no realistic path to a normal season since the logistics alone require at least 6 weeks of preparation. So owners face a choice to present a serious proposal addressing revenue sharing, guaranteed contracts, and improved working conditions, or continue stalling, force a lockout, and hope players cave once paychecks are missed. And based on the 2-month silence following the December proposal, it appears they are leaning toward the second option, though. That strategy could backfire because players have more leverage than ever with public opinion largely on their side, as fans recognize they are underpaid relative to the value they generate. Corporate sponsors eager to preserve momentum from Caitlin Clark's rookie season. And most importantly, players demonstrating they are willing to sacrifice a season for a fair deal. While the assumption that players need the WNBA more than the league needs them may no longer hold true, given Angel Reese has built a powerful social media brand generating income beyond basketball. Caitlin Clark holds endorsement deals worth millions. And Aya Wilson has become a household name with revenue streams extending well beyond her WNBA salary, making it clear these women are not negotiating from desperation. They are negotiating from a position of strength. And what the owners may not fully grasp is that new fans do not have decades of loyalty to the WNBA as an institution, but instead are loyal to specific players. So if Caitlin Clark spends the summer playing in athletes unlimited rather than the WNBA, her fans will follow. And if Angel Reese focuses on exhibition tours and social media content, instead of professional games, her audience will engage there, meaning the league brand is no longer bigger than its stars, but the stars are bigger than the brand, which makes this negotiation especially consequential because owners may be operating with an outdated view of their leverage by assuming control of franchises, and league access gives them all the power. When in the age of social media and alternative professional leagues, that control can be an illusion since players can build their own platforms, create their own content, and monetize their brands without league permission, much like what happened in college sports when the NCAA attempted to restrict athletes from profiting off their name, image, and likeness, only for nil rules to change and reveal that athletes did not need institutional approval to earn money. The same dynamic is playing out now as WNBA players realize they have options, and the owners are about to learn what happens when you negotiate like it's still 2015. As the December proposal the league ignored for 2 months reportedly included significant increases to revenue sharing, guaranteed contracts for all players, improved travel accommodations, and better maternity benefits, which are not radical demands but basic professional standards in every other major sports league. And the fact that owners couldn't even respond for 8 weeks shows how seriously they're taking these negotiations. Yet they should take them very seriously because if there is number 2025 season, the WNBA might never recover the momentum it just built. Casual fans will move on, corporate sponsors will redirect budgets, and the breakthrough moment the league worked 30 years to achieve could evaporate because owners were too stubborn to share revenue fairly, leaving 90 days until the season with no CBA agreement. The union waiting for a proposal the league is only now beginning to work on. Players meeting with alternative leagues for contingency plans, and millions of new fans wondering if they'll ever see Caitlin Clark play professionally again, meaning the ball is entirely in the owner's court to present a fair proposal that keeps the season on track or continue playing games and risk losing everything. And based on their behavior so far, optimism is low, though the hope remains, because the WNBA, the players, and the fans who just discovered the league deserve better than watching it self-destruct over a labor dispute that could be resolved if both sides negotiated in good faith. So what happens next? Do the owners cave and make a real offer, or do we lose the entire 2025 season?